of the voice. It is known that dragons have the inborn ability to learn and project their voice. Dragons also are able to absorb the power of their slain brethren. A few mortals are born with similar abilities. Whether it is a gift or a curse has been a matter of debate down through the centuries. Some believe that dragonborn are sent into the world by the gods at times of great need. So our hero makes his way to Dragon's Reach to meet Jarl Balgrove.
Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative.
You need to come at once. A dragon's been sighted nearby.
Oh, that's right. We saw it coming from the south. It was fast. Faster than anything I've ever seen.
What did it do? Is it attacking the watchtower?
No, my lord. It was just circling overhead when I left. I never ran so fast in my life.
There's no time to stand on ceremony, my friend. I need your help again. I want you to go with Irileth and help her fight this dragon.
That being said, our hero makes formidable haste to go and have another important meeting. One with his destiny. Riding through the hills and the plains, he reaches the western watchtower.
Here he comes again.
And indeed, it happens. A mighty dragon flies by. Our hero throws his blade and waits to see when the beast will touch the ground. Speaking in a strange, seemingly ancient language, the dragon touches down and blinds our hero with a blast of ice, shooting his mighty eyelid bow. He watches the dragon rising up into the skies again, circling the tower, then bringing more havoc, destruction, and death to the mortals. Legend tells that when the dragon smashed the ground again, our hero was at its back, and while shooting arrow after arrow, he heard the name Mir Molnir. He slashed and hacked at the dragon's scales until it whispered, Dovahkiin. bursted into flames. Then our hero felt he was absorbing its very soul. To his surprise, the only thing that remained was the dragon's skeleton. And as he raced fiercely back to the great city of Whiterun, our hero felt a strange power within him. It was only then that the ground suddenly trembled and a shout came from the sky. He knew, of course, that it was the ancient name of the Dragonborn in Dragon's tongue. He raced through the gates of the city, then all the way up to Dragon's Reach to speak again to Jarl Balgruf. At once, he told him
You're finally here. The Jarl's been waiting for you.
that he had absorbed some kind of power from the dragon.
So it's true. The Graybeards really were summoning you.
But who are the Graybeards?
Masters of the Way of the Voice. They live in seclusion high on the slopes of the throat of the world.
But what did they want from him?
Dragonborn is said to be uniquely gifted in the voice. The ability to focus your vital essence into a thum, or shout. If you really are Dragonborn, they can teach you how to use your gift. The Graybeards.
Didn't you hear the thundering sound as you returned to Whiterun? That was the voice of the Graybeards, summoning you to High Hrothgar.
Our hero understood what needed to be done, so he made formidable haste, aiming to reach the small town of Iverstead, where the road up to High Hrothgar began. Climbing on the 7,000 steps. He knew that he had a very long road ahead, so he rented a room and went to sleep for some 8 hours. Our hero began his journey at dusk. He went to the bridge that was leading to the first steps of those 7,000 that led to High Hrothgar. And the first emblem he found on the road read that before the birth of men, the dragons ruled all Mundus. Their word was the voice, and they spoke only for true needs. For the voice could blot out the sky and flood the land. Our hero started meditating on what the journey meant and the dangers this bear that was challenging him right now. And which he had been forced to slay. Of course, it wasn't his wish to murder something on the way, but peril was everywhere, and it was his duty to remain alive and to fulfill his destiny as Dragonborn. And now, the second emblem. Men were born and spread over the face of Mundus. The dragons presided over the crawling masses. Men were weak then and had no voice. Those were powerful words indeed. Powerful words from the old times, written by the ancient kings and by the first dragon emperors. Another bear, mighty. Our hero decided that drinking a potion was the right thing to do in order to be able to slay the bear and also remain alive. It was amazing how much peril was on this road, and it seemed that here some ice wraiths resided. Our hero equipped his shield, a Nordic moonstone shield. He obliterated the ice wraith and watched amazed at the aurora borealis that covered the skies of Skyrim right now. The moons of Nirn were up, and cold was biting from his flesh. What was this? Another bear? Another beast was maybe up ahead The third emblem. The fledgling spirits of men were strong in old times, unafraid to war with dragons and their voices. But the dragons only shouted them down and broke their hearts. More powerful words. More memories from the old, forgotten times. Where was that beast? Our hero couldn't tell, but walked further ahead on the steps, unafraid, though with a chilling that went up his spine to the skull. And oh my, there it was. Castle Shellblad. An ancient home of the Dragonborn. Amazing. Our hero didn't yet visited Shellblad, for he wasn't confirmed as Dragonborn, of course. But he went to read the fourth emblem. Kain called on Parthenax, who pitied man. Together they thought men to use the voice. Then dragon war raged. Dragon against tongue. Indeed, dragons were against men at some point. But man rose. Man came to be as powerful, as amazing as dragons. Oh, and there it was, a frost troll, unrelenting, mighty. Our hero used his blade to slash the troll, then drank a potion. The troll was powerful, but our hero had one more potion and slayed the troll, only to be able to read the fifth emblem. Man prevailed, shouting Alduin out of the world, proving for all that their voice too was strong, although their sacrifices were many-fold. Cold was still increasing and the winds were raging from down below on was here. With roaring tongues, the Sky Children conquer, founding the first empire with sword and voice, whilst the dragons withdrew from this world. The top of the mountain was nigh, and there, on the edge, there was the next emblem, so beautiful against the sky and the mountain peaks. The tongues at Red Mountain went away humbled. Jorgen Windcaller began his 7-year meditation to understand how strong voices could fail. Amazed, the Dragonborn watched the lands, the whole of Skyrim, and its beauty, and the sea in the distance. It was indeed amazing how a tree like this one could grow here. And our hero realized that he was freezing. So, how about having some wine? Well, maybe mead instead. And the 8th emblem told him that Jorgen Windcaller chose silence and returned. The 17 disputants could not shout him down. Jorgen the Calm built his home on the throat of the world. This Jorgen Windcaller was a very important figure in the history of Skyrim, in the history of Nirn itself. Our hero went faster up and read the next emblem. For all years silent, the Graybeards spoke one name. Tiber Septim, stripling then, was summoned to High Hrothgar. They blessed and named him Dovahkiin. And our hero felt the voice of the sky. ancient secret blessing, filling his body and his very soul. Shivering, he went to read the final emblem. The voice is worship. Follow the inner path. Speak only in true need. The voice of the dragon was rising within him as he entered the residence of the Graybeards.
So, a Dragonborn appears at this moment in the turning of the age. We will see if you truly have the gift. Show us, Dragonborn. Let us taste of your voice.
So, our hero shouted.
Dragonborn, it is you. I am Master Angir. I speak for the Graybeards. Now, tell me, Dragonborn, why have you come here?
Answering your summons, our hero said.
We are honored to welcome a Dragonborn to High Hrothgar. We will do our best to teach you how to use your gift in fulfillment of your destiny.
What destiny is that?
That is for you to discover. We can show you the way, but not your destination.
What does it mean to be Dragonborn?
We are here to guide you in that pursuit, just as the Graybeards have sought to guide those of the dragon blood that came before you.
Am I not the only one?
You are not the first. There have been many of the dragon blood since Akatosh first bestowed that gift upon mortal kind. Whether you are the only Dragonborn of this age, that is not ours to know. You are the only one that has been revealed thus far. That is all I can say.
I am ready to learn.
You have shown that you are Dragonborn. You have the inborn gift. But do you have the discipline and temperament to follow the path laid out for you? That remains to be seen. Without training, you have already taken the first steps towards projecting your voice into a thum, a shout. Now let us see if you are willing and able to learn. When you shout, you speak in the language of dragons. Thus, your dragon blood gives you an inborn ability to learn words of power. All shouts are made up of 3 words of power. As you master each word, your shout will become progressively stronger. Master Einarth will now teach you Ro, the second word in Unrelenting Force. Ro means balance in the dragon tongue. Combine it with Fus, force, to focus your thumb more sharply. Ro. Dragonborn, you can absorb a slain dragon's life force and knowledge directly. As part of your initiation, Master Einarth will allow you to tap into his understanding of Ro.
And the Dragonborn absorbed the word of power.
Use your unrelenting force shout to strike the targets as they appear. quickly. Once more.
Force!
Targets as they appear. Brett, impressive. Your thumb is precise. You show great promise, Dragonborn. Follow Master Bori.
Feeling the rising power within, and with a better understanding of it, the Dragonborn walked through the ancient palace, all the way to the courtyard.
Master Bori will teach you Wood, which means whirlwind. You must hear the word within yourself before you can project it into a thumb. Approach Master Bori and he will give
A new word of power. Absorb.
Wood. Now, your turn. Stand next to me. Master Bori will open the gate. Use your whirlwind sprint to pass through before it closes. Breath and focus. Your quick mastery of a new thum is astonishing. I'd heard the stories of the abilities of Dragonborn, but to see it for myself. You are now ready for your last trial. Retrieve the horn of Jürgen Windcaller, our founder, from his tomb in the ancient fane of Ostengraf. Remain true to the way of the voice.
Who was Jürgen Windcaller?
He was a great war leader of the ancient Nords, a master of the voice, or tongue. After the disaster at Red Mountain, where the Nord army was annihilated, he spent many years pondering the meaning of that terrible defeat. He finally came to realize that the gods had punished the Nords for their arrogant and blasphemous misuse of the voice. He was the first to understand that the voice should be used solely for the glory and worship of the gods, not the glory of men. Jürgen Windcaller's mastery of the voice eventually overcame all opposition, and the way of the voice was born.
The way of the voice?
The voice was a gift of the goddess Kinnereth at the dawn of time. She gave mortals the ability to speak as dragons do. Although this gift has often been misused, the only true use of the voice is for the worship and glory of the gods. True mastery of the voice can only be achieved when your inner spirit is in harmony with your outward actions. In the contemplation of the sky, Kinnereth's domain, and the practice of the voice, we strive to achieve this balance.
Why do you help me?
The Dragonborn is an exception to all the rules. The dragon blood itself is a gift of the gods. If we accept one gift, how can we deny the other? As Dragonborn, you have received the ability to shout directly from Akatosh. We therefore seek to guide you on the proper use of your gift, which transcends the restrictions which bind other mortals.
Why are the shouts in dragon language?
Dragons have always been able to shout. Language is intrinsic to their very being. There is no difference in the dragon tongue between debating and fighting. Shouting comes as naturally to a dragon as breathing or speaking. In mythic times, when mortal kind was in great need, the goddess Kinnereth granted us the ability to speak as dragons do. For most people, long years of training are required to learn even the simplest shout. But for you, the dragon speech is in your blood, and you learn it almost without effort.
So why are the dragons returning?
No doubt, the appearance of a dragonborn at this time is not an accident. Your destiny is surely bound up with the return of the dragons. You should focus on honing your voice and soon your path will be made clear.
I will continue my training, Master.
Good. Then you will be ready for whatever lies ahead.
But who are the Graybeards?
We study the way of the voice, according to the teachings of our founder, Jürgen Windcaller. Very few are permitted to study with us here at High Hrothgar. But in your case, Dragonborn, it is a privilege to guide you towards mastery of your voice.
Now the Dragonborn knew many more words of power, so those will help him in his quests. But first, he meditated on what he had to do next. The retrieving of the horn of Jürgen Windcaller. This was the Frank with a Skyrim ASMR journey, and I will be waiting for you next week on another one. Goodbye, and may the voice